Give me a 1. Give me a 2. Give me a skiddly diddly do. Guess who's back? Back again. Shotcast back. Tell a friend. Look
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Look
Guess
who's
who's back?
back? Look who's back? Look who's back? Look who's back? I create a monster. And nobody wanted.
Very creative, Brett. I'll
you.
give you that one. I'll give you that one for the intro for this week, since we are back after taking a break, and not for dumb reasons this time.
Actually, you were doing a TEDx conference.
Yes, and we didn't announce it because why announce good things? Brett's getting sick of me announcing good things anyhow.
But the viewers aren't.
No, the viewers aren't, I suppose. But yes, the
Maybe
reason
they are, I don't know.
the reason that we were absent last week is because of yes, I presented at a TEDx on artificial intelligence at none other than UW Stevens Point.
Yeah.
At none other than UW Stevens Point, which it was interesting going back for a reason such as this time around, wasn't it, Brett?
Yes, it was.
Because truth be told, Brett, how do you put this? Essentially endured the college lifestyle without actually going to school.
I went to school for about 6 months at a tech school, so you can't really say it was actual college. But to the nice friends I have who did go to college, they let me stay at their place when I went up, and oh man, it was so enjoyable. Yeah, I had a couple friends that allowed me to come up and stay at their place, and I could just, stay up there and, get all the party life out of me.
And who were those couple of friends, Brett?
One was Schwab and one was Bryce. That's all I can really remember.
Hey, guess what?
What?
You're fired.
Oh, that's like the 65th time I've been fired.
No, Brett actually, he did my senior year of college. He did come up to visit quite a bit, which I think you were fine with.
Yeah, I was.
It was literally every weekend, though.
Mm-hmm.
But Brett was fine with it.
Yeah.
Do you wonder, why? Well, and I think back to this, back in college, where literally you would come up on a Thursday, and we'd go out on a Thursday, and then Friday, and then Saturday.
And then Sunday I'd be like, I'm ass. And then drive back home, try not to throw up in my car for 3 hours straight.
And we would get really quite intoxicated back then.
But the hangovers would last like 12 hours.
Would you say
for
that
a 3-day period?
Would you say that you got literally blackout every time we went out back in college?
Yeah.
I think it was every time. I have pictures to prove it.
Yeah. And now it's like I get a little drunk and I'm hungover for 2 days.
But it
sucks, and I don't like it really.
Aside from reminiscing about these drinking memories, it was actually really neat to be back in Stevens Point, at least for this reason. It was really quick, which was actually nice.
Yeah.
We went to the old apartment, drove by it, and then...
I think we're at that age where the most minimal activities you can do and then just go back to your house is perfect.
Do nothing.
Yep.
I think Brett and I both, when after the TEDx was over, we got invited to lunch, and I looked at Brett, and I'm like, I really just want to go home and sleep.
Yeah. I want to go home and record for my YouTube channel, Infinite Gaming. Make sure to like and subscribe.
You need to stop promoting it. Fine. I will let you self-promote your crap on the podcast since it is ours. But yes, Brett, go like and follow Brett's Infinite Gaming channel. But yeah, TEDx was actually really cool. Out of all the speaking events I've done, I think Brett would agree because he saw me prepping for it. This was probably the most stressful.
Was it?
I think it was, just because I didn't know if they would have a confidence monitor that allowed me to do show notes. Because remember, I was freaking out because I'm like, I'm going to have to memorize everything.
Yeah, but then he saw the confidence monitor. He had some confidence.
I'm going to kill you.
I guess that's why they're called confidence monitors.
Brett, damn it.
What?
No, I didn't know if they would have any type of support like some speaking events do, so I got really nervous. And long story short, they did, and it went flawless.
You make the Lord very nervous.
How would you describe my presentation, Brett? Taking the best friend component out of it.
1 being absolute crap and 10 being pretty damn good. I'll put you at a 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah, what do you expect me to say?
10?
No. You're not Steve Jobs. Get the hell out of here.
You're fired.
You're not 10. You're not 10 until you pass Steve Jobs. Speaking.
Well, that's never going to happen, so I'm never going to be a 10, I guess.
Guess you'll only reach 9.9.
Well, now that Brett has me pissed, welcome to another.
What if I would have said 4?
You would never have said 4.
No.
Your life would be over.
You have room for improvement. You're new to the whole thing.
I don't think I deserved a 8.5. I think a
If
solid.
you didn't make me cringe with the stupid slide.
Boy, that
slide's hot.
Is that really?
I'm like, oh my god.
Is that really what did it?
Oh my god.
Is that why it was an 8.5 because of the slide that made you cringe?
Your jokes you thought were funny, but they weren't. You should just be serious the whole time. Throw the jokes out. I was interested with your talk without the jokes, and the jokes just cringed me. So stop it with the damn jokes.
You have to understand that for me as a speaker, and everybody's different. Like, some of us like to get people to laugh because that lightens the load. I always try to incorporate...
Did you hear anybody laugh?
Absolutely not.
No, you didn't. And that's why you get an 8.5.
It didn't land whatsoever, actually. Well, what? Didn't I run through it with you? You should have told me to take the jokes.
No, you did not run through that thing with me.
If I would you have told me to take the
Yes.
joke? My fault.
Yeah.
Learning lesson for. But
Absolutely
Brett, there are some
you.
events I've done where I've been able to do jokes and it's worked out really well.
Probably because it's a small room and people think it would be really awkward if nobody laughed.
No.
So they go, please continue. It's a small room. Don't want to have a room full of silence. So we have awkwardness. That's what I do when it's small.
Anyhow, I had a lot of people come and ask questions afterwards, so to me it was worthwhile.
Yeah, people. Yeah, like I said, the serious part of your talk was interesting and really good.
Also, once when you're a speaker, to do a TED event is like a big deal. So now that you kind of have the TED label, or that I have the TED label, hopefully this will open doors to a lot more things. As a matter of fact, I did have somebody reach out to me once I listed TEDx speaker on my LinkedIn profile.
Cool.
So
that's good.
And it was all on artificial intelligence and all this stuff. So
well, that's where we're looking to improve.
I still feel like, though, sometimes when I
business.
talk, I feel like I'm just BSing the whole time.
Well, you'll probably feel like that for a long time.
Did it seem like I was BSing on stage?
No, it seems like you've Googled a lot. So you know what you're talking about.
Googled a lot.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? How else are you going to learn this stuff?
I mean,
Google.
They have books out there.
Who reads books?
Me.
Do you buy books and read books?
Yes.
Or do you get most of your information from articles online and reading Google articles and stuff?
Articles online, white papers, and YouTube.
There you go. So I was right.
Fine. Anyhow.
Truth hurts, Nick.
Welcome to another episode of the Shotcast. I'm Nick.
Do we just start doing this 20 minutes in?
We're 7 minutes and 44 seconds in.
Okay. Usually you do that like right after my intro.
Oh, wow. We really got in a talk there, didn't we?
Yeah. Anyway,
welcome
this is Nick.
To another week of the Shotcast. I'm Nick.
And I am Brett.
And we are here to round up the week's top news while taking shots. And this week it's actually not shots because we're, as we do, we migrate from shots to beer to wine. We're actually drinking just a simple...
We drink whatever we like and you'll deal with it.
We're drinking a simple Blue Moon Belgian ale.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorites. And it's actually getting close to summer.
You know what? This is not really a summer drink. I'm thinking of this more in the fall.
Blue Moon?
Yeah.
Oh,
You put an orange slice with it and everything?
I've gotten quite intoxicated on this on the boat.
Well, that's usually Corona for me. That's a summer drink. You know what I've been seeing? That just got me thinking about the agave plant for the tequila. I've been seeing a lot of tequila ads on YouTube.
Have you?
And they're promoting it. They're making it look like a background, like donate to all the people that grow the agave plant. I'm like, why would I be seeing a lot of ads for tequila? Well, it just so happens 10 years ago there was a shortage of the agave plant, and that 10 years comes up in 2020. So that means we're going to have a shortage of tequila, and it's going to rise in price, and that's probably why we're seeing all these ads.
Well, how did you learn that we're running out of agave plant again?
Remember, it was one of those articles that we did about a year ago for the Shotcast because we did episode with tequila that we were drinking.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So I saw a bunch of ads. I'm like, oh, that year must be coming up where the agave plant is on a shortage. So a shortage of tequila, rise in price, more ads.
Is that coincidental, or you're just fabricating something that's a coincidence?
I mean, that was like, I saw more ads. I've never seen ads for tequila before on YouTube. Why would there be ads for tequila? They're probably going to have to raise the price
Here's the deal, though.
next year.
They probably can only target those ads to people who are 21 or older, so YouTube must know this about you.
No, what are you talking about? How many times have you seen beer ads on cable? On PBS?
Different.
Not PBS.
Because you can get really targeted with that stuff.
I know, but it was on like a John... Well, no, it wasn't a John Oliver video. What was I watching? Just some random YouTuber.
Well, Let's do it.
Oh, thanks for commenting on my story I just told. Yeah, Shot's Shotcast.
He hates me.
Only every so often.
Every day of his damn
But
life.
I can't hate him today because he helped me with social media today. So I have to respect little body.
Well, I helped you with social media because you want to grow your video game channel.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And he told me everything I already know and didn't do the thing I wanted to do, which start an Instagram page.
You know why he didn't tell me? Because I got yelled at about a month ago now, saying, I'm going to be more honest with you and I'm not going to lie in order to prevent your feelings from getting hurt. And what did he do today, everybody? He did not tell me. Nick, I know all this because he didn't want my feelings to get hurt.
Well, there was something in the back of my mind hoping that you would tell me something I didn't know, but there was a couple things.
This proves, though, actually genuinely how good Brett is of a person because he doesn't want to hurt my feelings.
This wasn't annoying me. I was fine with it all. And then Nick tries to hypnotize me with sound bites.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You're like, I am making an ASMR skill for Alexa, and I want you to listen to these sounds. So I listened to like 5 different sounds for 3 minutes, and then Nick's like, I put subtle messages in these. Subliminal messages in these. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, I made them so quiet you couldn't hear them, but they're there. And then he goes to his computer and plays when he's like, Brett is next to the buddy, or big buddy. We're the best friends. I'm like, you're creepy as heck. You're creepy. I should probably just go home. Like, I should probably be concerned that you're going to like serial kill me or something.
How am I creepy?
You put subliminal messages. I can't even talk. I'm so worried. I need to go home.
Brett, as you've known through the almost 9 years of our friendship, I have always had a fascination.
Creepy? Oh, yes. Okay, I remember. So what's your first news?
I have always had a fascination with the human mind.
Yeah.
And I have an obsession to control it.
Yeah.
And yours is just prime for the taking. I'm just going to be
Not
quite
really.
honest.
You've tried to hypnotize me like 10 times now, and it has never worked. I'm too smart for that shit.
You refuse.
No. Or else it's just all bullshit, so.
That wasn't hypnosis. That was subliminal messaging.
Yeah, well, you said it takes 30 days to work, so.
I thought it would may work in the 20
No.
minute.
No.
One day, Brett. One day.
One day, Wazowski.
How do we get on that?
I'll get you,
Okay.
Wazowski.
I guess maybe we should start talking about some of the topics from this week, shouldn't we?
Wazowski.
Brett, shut up. All right, let's do another toast for the first. What are we going to talk about here?
Notre Dame.
Oh, yes.
Notre Dame de France.
Sure, I guess we can go with that.
Le Rip.
But I'm sure you all heard that the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris got caught on fire this week.
I would like to start this story with you by explaining like where we were at and how we figured out how it was happening.
I saw it on Twitter.
Oh, you saw it on Twitter.
Yes.
I was sitting at my desk and my coworker came in saying, "Oh, the Notre Dame is on fire." And then I go down to the office ladies in front and I'm like, "You guys know Notre Dame's on fire?" And they're like, "The college?" I'm like, "Oh, I mean Notre Dame de France."
My God.
Notre Dame de France. And they're like, "What do you mean the college?" I'm like, "No, I just said it different. Notre Dame." And they're like, "Oh, I was there. I was on vacation. I was inside of it like a year ago." Oh, I'm like, you had to explain your vacation first? You just, weren't concerned right away. You just had to explain that you were there and you were inside
I'm still stuck on, you said, as I have this image of your coworker just bursting into your office going, "Oh my, Notre Dame is on fire!"
Notre Dame de France. It is on fire. Voulez chaque me vibrate. Whatever will we do, baguette.
Now that was insanely culturally insensitive, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. I don't give a shit.
We're not okay.
900 years that thing was up for.
Actually, no.
And it burnt down.
It's
Well, it's 857.
Yes, 850 years old.
Yep. I like to round up. That's how my brain works.
So yeah, I was scrolling through Twitter and saw it, and I guess I've never been to Paris, so to me it's like I know it's a very important landmark and is a very important structure of our history and Christianity. But apparently it started because they were doing some renovation work from what I read.
Which is the good news because they were renovating, they
Yeah.
took all the art out and stuff
Well,
prior.
the first thing that popped into my mind was arson, but like I'm like, who would be awful enough to try and set that on fire?
It's been 850 years of no arson, and all of a sudden 2019 is arson.
You never know. Look at all the terrorist attacks.
Let's go burn
Look
down
at
that
all
fully stone building.
Look at all of the terrorist attacks that France has dealt with over the past.
That's
couple
actually
of
the
years.
first thing I thought of was probably a terrorist attack, because they've had a lot of terrorist attacks.
Well, I'll tell you
decade.
what, the building went up real quick. I think from the diagrams I saw, the entire roof, at least part of the roof, was on fire.
Did you see the people on
And
Twitter and stuff saying the cross of gold has been left? That
No,
means
we'll
God
get-
is
hey,
real.
Hang on, we'll get there.
Oh,
we'll get there.
Gonna get there. Okay.
I was.
I'll wait for your cue.
Let me finish
wait
my
for
damn
your-
points.
I'll wait for your cue. I feel like I'm
I
interrupting
was-
you too much.
You
I'm
are.
sorry.
You
Sorry.
very much are.
I do
Shut
that all
the
time.
hell up.
I'm sorry.
Kiss my hand.
No.
He only does that when he's drunk. Anyhow.
No, I don't.
And there's pizza rolls involved.
Okay.
Anyhow, the entire top of the building was actually set on fire for the most part, at least like the main portion of the ceiling. And unfortunately, the spire caught on fire and collapsed into the main area of the building.
I watched that live.
However, it appears a majority of the stone structure is fine.
Yeah.
A lot of the interior is fine. The bell towers were fine. So, relatively speaking, as bad as this is, it could have been a lot worse. Because when I was watching it, they were predicting that the whole thing was going to crumble.
Which I don't get how that would happen, because it's all stone.
Well, and everybody was like, how did it catch on fire? Why did it catch on fire so quick? And I'm thinking to myself, well, 850-year-old wood probably isn't the least flammable. Light a match or fart next to it and it'll probably set on fire. Let's be real.
My fire would set on fire.
Great. Anyhow, back to Brett's point here about what he saw on Twitter and other social media platforms. Yes, there were a fair amount of people posting how, because the Golden Cross, what do you call like the back area of the church where the priest stands in that whole area?
The altar?
Yeah, the cross by the altar.
Yeah, the altar wherever he stands. I can't really remember myself.
Was saved, and I saw the one guy retort saying, well, no, it actually wasn't, Jesus Christ or God. Gold just doesn't melt.
Melts at 1,060 degrees, and the fire was burning at 600.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why it was still left there.
And full disclosure, like
dumbasses.
I'm not picking on religion here whatsoever. I'm just saying that's
I'm not picking on religion. I'm picking on the stupid assholes that think that's what makes God real. It's because gold was left.
Okay, as we've said before, Brett is a very staunch atheist. I just really don't have an opinion either way, but yes, essentially, just
I don't have a problem with people in religion. I just don't make stupid claims.
Right. I'm saying let's be more mindful of what we say before actually thinking about it a bit more.
Sorry,
but Brett, you must say, if putting yourself in a devout Christian's shoes, it would make sense to believe and say something like that, wouldn't it? Now,
I guess so.
And after what you dealt with this week with your family, you really shouldn't be judging now, should you?
What? What does that have to do with my family?
I'm just saying, like the similar thing about somebody saying something stupid and then.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But yeah, Notre Dame is a very important historical landmark as a part of our culture. I think Trump said some things about it too, as it was burning up, and he wasn't the most coherent in what he was saying. Do you want to actually know what I literally rolled my eyes to as this was happening too? Guess what was trending on Twitter while this was on fire?
What, the freaking Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Quasimodo.
Jesus Christ. I saw a meme on that too. He was crying. I'm like, oh, that's what we're gonna relate this all to. A 20-year-old movie to a 850-year-old landmark.
I literally thought to myself, I'm like, really, guys, Quasimodo is trending on Twitter this?
Yeah, that pissed me off. It's like, this thing is 850 years old, and the only thing we remember out of this whole freaking building is a stupid-ass movie that came from Disney about 15 years ago.
Don't do it. Don't say it. Brett's twitching.
No, but Trump said, you need to bring some water tankers and throw some water on the cathedral. That'll help it. I'm like, yes, this 1,000 tons of water will help the 850-year-old wood. That'll be great for the building. You freaking orange ass buffoon.
Actually, they were a lot of. That was funny. Les stupid. No, they were saying that if they were to do that, the whole building would probably crumble.
Yes. I thought that in 5 seconds.
Now,
Good job, Trump.
there was also some talk and research going on as to why people are so emotional over this. Like, there was actually, I read something on BBC about why we have emotional reaction to, buildings being destroyed, like certain buildings. And you know what's weird? I guess I can relate to a bit of this and why people are upset, because unless you visited a very historical site, maybe you just don't understand. Like, when I went to Greece and I went and walked around the Acropolis in Athens and got to see the Parthenon and a couple of the other structures, there's an energy there and you feel the significance of it. You're like, oh, this is like
Important.
People were walking.
This is the start of me.
Correct.
Of humanity.
People were walking around where I'm standing 2,000 years ago, And there's a significance to that. So it's like just naturally we have an emotional affinity to it.
How would you feel if you saw the pyramids of Giza blown up and they all fell?
Oh, I feel like a part of our culture was destroyed.
Oh, yeah. Humanity, part of like history is
like
dead.
If a major flood came through and swept away the Parthenon in Athens, I would probably cry because I'm like, I was there. I have pictures of me standing there,
Somebody takes the Declaration of Independence and burns it or something like that.
Well, any
it's related towards
it was more related to buildings, but buildings, I think we establish symbolism in structures, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like we establish symbolism in our culture in these structures.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why it's so emotional for people to see things like this happen to very historical and important sites and buildings.
You know what else pissed me off? People just getting pissed off at these rich billionaires donating money. They're like, oh, this can't go towards Flint and all that and stuff like that. Like, why don't they donate their money to help out the world? But now that this church has been set on fire and crumbled, they're going to donate $3 billion in 3 days for the church.
Yeah.
And people are pissed off.
Are you not pissed off?
No. They don't need to do that. They don't need to spend their money on stupid shit. They can spend their money wherever they want. It's their money.
I actually disagree with you on this point.
Oh, yeah?
I do.
I know they probably should help out the world, but it's their money no matter how much they have.
Right, but...
It's their property.
Okay, I guess where I'm coming from is if people would have died in this accident, that's different than literally no loss of life. I get it's an extremely historical site.
Yeah.
But nobody died. It's not going to...
It's 850-year-old landmark.
Right, but...
Help them.
There's people literally dying from hunger and starvation and disease because they don't have access to anything.
I'm not disagreeing with you that they shouldn't help those folks, but I also know that it's their money, their property. They can spend it where they want, and if they want to choose to spend it on the cathedral, they can. And they don't have to spend anywhere else. No matter how bad it is.
I'm not defending. I'm not like trying to say I don't agree with them doing it, but I'm saying like it's just interesting that we can't solve actual problems with large amounts of money from private people who have massive amounts of wealth, but when we have a historical landmark get severely damaged, millions and billions of dollars are literally thrown at that overnight.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing that out. I agree. You know my thoughts on it. I agree. If you're rich and wealthy and you made your money, you deserve to spend it however you want.
Are we all naive to the point that you didn't think that they could do that? I've always known that billionaires could like help out the world and fix it in a matter of a night with their money.
I mean,
they don't have to.
That's just not how the world works.
It's their freaking money.
But
I don't care if you have all the money in the world. You don't need to disperse.
I'm just saying it was interesting to see how literally very rich people jumped on that in less than 24 hours, but yet we can't solve very basic issues.
Oh, we could solve that instantly. They just choose not to help. So that's the negative side of humanity, I guess you could say.
Well, I personally I'm glad the whole building didn't get destroyed because when I ever go to Paris,
I thought it was,
and it is a win. That is a landmark I'd like to see. But yeah, there were a lot of historical Christian artifacts in there that luckily they had removed.
Yeah,
prior to
gone.
The fire.
Where's I know the Mona Lisa isn't there, but that makes me wonder, like, where is the Mona Lisa?
The Louvre.
Yeah, where's the Louvre?
Actually, it's very close to Notre Dame. Why would you think the Mona Lisa was in Notre Dame?
Did you not listen to what I just said?
I guess not.
I don't think the Mona Lisa is in Notre Dame, but where is that?
Oh, the Louvre.
The Louvre, okay.
Which is the museum.
Okay.
But apparently, the thorn headdress that
Oh,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ
Jesus
wore
Christ
was
wore.
supposedly at
That
Notre
some lady
Dame.
made in probably like 1,000.
And there were a couple other things there too, but I think the thorn headdress was the big one.
I bet you like the Pope made that by hand. Like
We're not getting
50,
we're
50
not
years
doing
ago. And
this.
he's like, this is the thorn. We found this in a dig site.
We're not doing this. We're not getting on your atheist tangents.
I don't believe that at all. So, some bird probably made it in his nest.
You're literally going to make our count of people who are Christian, if they're listeners, drop off the face of the earth.
That's fine.
You a-hole!
That's atheist a-hole to you. Actually, I don't know if I'm an atheist. I believe in something bigger out there.
No,
but...
Brett, why don't you go back to posting on Facebook like you did back in 2014?
No.
That was a great time.
No, there's got to be something out there like energy or whatever in the universe or something. I don't think my memories go with my energy.
Well, God, no, we're not getting on this. We've already spent enough today on this.
Yeah, we did.
One video, and it turns into a 2.5-hour discussion on the fabric of the universe and crap with us today.
Okay. Well, next. The Muller report.
Yes, this was released publicly.
Oh, boy. What came from this? I didn't really read it. I just saw Trump's reactions on Twitter.
Well, Trump is claiming that he's completely exonerated, which is not
What?
the case.
Why does he think he can get away with any lie?
So the report
basically
said that the special counsel did not find any evidence of collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign in the 2016 election. However, it did not exonerate him from obstruction of justice and said that they didn't have enough information to support whether that was the case or not.
You see him blaming it on Obama?
Of course
Obama
he is.
knew about the collusion, the Russia collusion.
Of course. He's blaming it on anybody he can.
Yeah, he also, did you see what he said on Twitter? Presidential harassment.
Also, this is going to make him win the next election, so.
Your negative thoughts on that.
He is. He's gonna win again.
I'm trying to be hopeful on the next.
He's gonna win again, and this is
fucking
everyone.
Dude.
Everyone who supports him got their golden ticket now to be like, see, look at the evil Democrats. What they tried to do. They tried to get him out of the office. Blah 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 blah. And he's gonna get elected again.
I hope you're wrong.
I'm not.
I hope you are.
Not to mention, there's nobody on the Democratic side strong enough to take him on right now. So.
There's a millennial coming up.
Ooh.
Did you look it up? Did you look up the millennial?
Can he fight literally dirty with tooth nails and poop? Because that's what you're gonna have to do with this guy.
I hope so.
If you are not an a-hole, you're not gonna stand a chance against him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I didn't really read it, so I don't know much about the Mueller report.
Oh well,
I just know that he was exonerated, and as soon as I heard,
no,
that
he wasn't. He was not exonerated. That's what he's saying. Because
he's saying he's exonerated.
He's saying he's exonerated.
Oh, but what's it saying there? That what's it going against him then?
That they did not find any evidence of collusion between his campaign and the Russians in the 2016 election, but they also could not prove that he did not commit obstruction of justice, which means that there's still evidence on the table that he maybe did that.
Then why is he saying this is the end of my presidency?
Well, because when they organized the special counsel back in 2017, he in his mind, and from what I was reading, apparently, he said everyone who's had this done before, it's totally destroyed them and ruined them every time they organize a special counsel.
What he said here, quote Donald Trump, "Oh my God, this is terrible. This is the end of my presidency."
Except he used many more expletives than that.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it also was confirmed that at one point he attempted to have Robert Mueller fired.
Because he knew he was doing the report?
Correct.
Oh my God.
And the guy the guy he told to fire him said no.
Doesn't he know that's just screams I'm guilty?
That's also obstruction of justice.
Yeah. Like
he also, the guy he instructed to do that said, no, I'm not doing that. That's like, no, you can't do that.
Such a dumbass.
He
thinks like 2 seconds ahead.
No, he thinks he can do whatever he wants, is what he thinks.
No.
Which, honestly, for him makes sense, because think about his business empire over the past how many years. He literally has been able to do whatever he wants.
Call Rod, deputy attorney. Tell Rod that Mueller has conflicts and can't be the special counsel. Mueller has to go. And call me back when you do it.
I could just...
Mr. President,
I can see it now if this actually happened. Mr. Mueller, sit down. You're fired.
You can't fire me. I can, and I will.
Well, you're going to jail. Well, do you remember, like, I think everybody was hoping that this report was truly going to pin him against the wall with the whole Russia thing. Remember in SNL back in December, they had an episode where they did that song hoping that he was going to come out with something? I mean, the sad fact of the matter is every time people on the left have been hoping that something's going to bring him down, it never happens.
No.
It never happens.
No, he's a freaking cockroach.
It never actually happens.
He avoids all destruction.
And I mean, it kind of pisses me off, actually, that the Democrats are still saying, oh, well, even though this, he didn't do any collusion with the Russians, there's still things. I'm like, no, you can't. Just let it go. Let it go. Stop crying. You all need to figure out how to work together and actually do something. I mean, no, this goes back. Remember that one of the guys who did the TEDx up in Stevens Point, he was talking about negotiating?
Yeah.
How negotiation's dead.
Yeah, the guy, I remember, talked right about that. Like, this is the problem we have in America right now. Negotiation is dead, and we're just fighting over nonsense, and we're getting no progression over it.
No, nothing ever comes because we can't negotiate anymore. Not to mention you can't say anything anymore without hurting somebody's feelings.
Yeah, we need to distinguish also between a joke and something that's serious.
Well, except for what your cousin did this week.
That wasn't a joke, that was serious.
Why don't you tell that story since we're on that topic?
I don't know if I want to, do that to my cousin.
Why? You don't have to use names.
Okay, fine. One of my cousins. Do I put the spurring in and stuff? Like, what do I do?
Say it for how it was said. I wouldn't maybe say verbatim what you said, but you could say what she texted and just tell the story. You'll figure it out.
I could bleep myself. I'll just say it. I'll say the F word. Okay. My cousin sent us a picture, and it was of a black woman, and she says in the caption on the snap, I, quote unquote, I hate black people. She's fucking loud. They're all loud. And that pissed me off because she took the time to take her phone out, take a picture of the poor woman, and then write in the caption, I hate black people. They're fucking loud. And yada, yada, blah, 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 blah. Then I respond with, so-and-so, fucking stop with your fucking racist bullshit.
Typical Brett language there. We
did not go with half of humanity. Well, no, that was after. So I said blah 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 bullshit and all that, and then now I'm drawing a blank because I'm under the pressure of telling a story on the podcast.
Jesus.
But she told me to go fuck off after I said that. Oh yeah, it's not the 1950s anymore. Keep that shit in your head. And then she said, "Fuck off, Brett." And I'm like, okay. And then a couple other siblings came in that are her siblings, came in saying, you need to respect her opinion. We need to respect opinions these days, okay, Brett? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, half of humanity didn't go through the 60s and 70s to have me respect that primitive, dumbass bullshit.
It's been longer than the 60s and 70s, Brett.
I'm just saying that's when Martin Luther King
Hundreds
was marching.
of years of...
I'm talking about Martin Luther King marching through the streets. And I said, for me to respect that opinion. So that was that story.
And Brett told me, and I said, good for you for sticking to your guns and actually saying something.
And our fam is for life chat on Snapchat is now disbanded.
All because Brett was doing the right thing.
Yeah. I cannot believe that she got defended. Like, how do you defend that thought that's from, like, so primitive?
Because it's very small-minded people who haven't been exposed to much in life, and I think you can probably agree with that.
Yes.
And I don't know that side of your family too well, but I can definitely...
There's a lot of white people.
Shocker. I can definitely say, though, that they probably haven't really been exposed to much outside of Wisconsin. Would I be correct in that statement?
Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yes. And her father, my uncle, is very racist.
This would make sense.
Yeah. And one of the siblings was like, Dad rubbed off on somebody. I'm like, that's depressing.
Oh, God.
That's depressing.
Well, unfortunately,
it was very sad and depressing, and now I have to go to Easter and see them, which is tomorrow.
Well, yeah,
my mom gave me good advice, though, on how I should treat it tomorrow. She said, just walk in, act like nothing happened, and if anybody brings it up, keep defending yourself.
Yes, that is very good advice, actually.
She's like, you don't bring it up. You only talk about it if they bring it up. I'm like, okay.
I guarantee you that's the opposite of what Donald Trump does.
Oh, he's always bringing stuff up.
Okay. What else do we have here to chat about?
I'll be honest. I like this laptop in front of me.
Oh, you like the Surface Pro, do you?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get one. How much was it? Like $400?
Like $600-700.
Oh, it's not too bad.
That's
like 3 Elgatos.
And this is actually I think my mom got this she got it from me for Christmas, but I think it may have been last year's model, but still. Yeah, it's very nice, portable. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
It helps me keep up with you and your stories.
Well,
so I can click the link.
We're also not we're actually sitting across from each other this time for the podcast, so.
Oh yeah. This is nice. I think the last time we sat across from each other at the podcast, you pissed me off, so.
You did. You wanted to kill me.
Yep.
But yeah,
shout out to Tiana.
I really like the Surface Pro. I think that's a very good product Microsoft made. I don't even really use my Mac anymore except for us to do the podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to need one of these eventually once I have enough money. Which we will eventually here.
Oh, okay.
With the business taking off.
What else do we have here to talk about? We have, oh yes, the Samsung folding phone. Did you hear about this?
Apparently it broke.
So apparently at I can't remember when they announced this, but I think it was at the Consumer Electronics Show this year is when they really showed it off. And I'm gonna be honest, it looks stupid. Do you actually see it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's huge.
It looks like an iPad.
Why do you need that? Why? Why do we need a folding phone?
Oh, this thing doesn't roll up; it folds.
Yes.
Oh, I looked at a different one that rolled up like a freaking yoga mat.
Think of it like think of it like the iPhone, but then you can unfold it and it turns into a bigger screen.
What the hell? This guy's the picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just a black screen. He broke it.
Yeah. It's supposed to not break.
Was he just being a dumbass?
No, it's been breaking for everyone they sent it out to. So what they did this week,
stupid.
So they released it. They had, like I said, I think they had some demos at Consumer Electronics Show this year, and it looked great. I mean, it was folding in and out and everything, and the screen was great. It's a $2,000 phone, mind you. So they sent it out to a bunch of media and reviewers this week, and it pretty much broke for everybody.
They better not. Did they spend money on these? Or were these just like free giveaways?
I'm sure there were giveaways for reviewers.
It's like reviewers, okay.
Reviewers and media. But I'll tell you what, it broke for everybody, so now they took them all back.
Jesus. Can I play this one video?
I guess. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to hear it.
We'll see. Play this one video from Steve Kovac.
Do you actually consider it if we have videos like this, you could just rip the audio and put it actually into the edit?
Ooh. So what's happening? There's no audio on this video, really. So what's happening on this video is the phone, think of like a piece of paper that's folded in half. That's how the phone folds. It's like an iPad. One side of his phone is blinking and the other side is just going black.
That means it didn't work.
I don't think that means, I don't think it worked. It looks a little broken to me. And the caption is, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, big yikes. After one day of use, that's what happened.
Well, this just is a testament to sometimes maybe we shouldn't make things that we think are going to be good for everybody.
God. Oh my God, the freaking protective, the seal you can put over, like to protect your screen is like peeling off because of all the folding.
Well, people, I guess, from what I read, were peeling that off, thinking it was just like a film. But I think,
well, that's stupid.
But again, that's misleading.
That is misleading, but still.
First of all, who would spend $2,000 on a phone? I wouldn't.
No.
I mean, even the new iPhone I got was $950 with the trade-in I had.
Yeah, I thought the $1,000 iPhone X was a lot. This is like $2,000. It's not even a real phone. It's a freaking iPad. Give me a break.
Well, I just don't get why you need something that opens and closes like that.
Yeah, you know what? You know why it folds? To make it smaller. You know what's smaller? A phone. And still a phone's smaller than when you fold it. So, I don't know. I think they need to go back to the drawing board.
Well, here's what I will say.
They need to go back to the drawing board.
Here's what I will say. People give Apple shit, but I've never had an issue with an iPhone.
No, I haven't actually either.
No.
They've all worked for me, the ones I've had since
other
2016.
Other than them releasing incremental software updates that makes it so damn slow you can't use it anymore.
They probably rolled back on that.
The actual product itself, I've never had an issue with.
They've had to roll that back since that was told to the
I could have told everybody they were doing that. You can tell.
I mean, like most people probably thought, oh, my phone's just getting old, but no, it's actually software they're implementing into your phone.
But I'm just saying, I've never actually had a problem with the physical iPhone devices.
No, I agree. I have not either.
I would never own an Android phone. I just wouldn't.
I've owned one, and I can't really talk because that was back in 2011. So.
Did you actually know there's a lot of interesting research about
Samsung Galaxy 3 I had?
income level and type of phone you have.
Yeah, Android's for poor people. We all know that. If you get a green text, it's a poor person.
Brett! No.
I kid.
But you are right in that.
Oh, I'm right.
No, okay, no. I'm saying that there has been studies done that said people in lower income levels tend to buy Android-based smartphones, and people in higher income levels tend to buy iPhone. Which, if you look at that, it's really just the marketing. Like, Apple is totally marketing to upper middle class people, middle class to upper class people.
Yeah.
Samsung, I guess just because it's Samsung phones, Android's just the OS. But
that's one mental problem I have is when somebody texts me and they have a green text, I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, I'm dealing with a freaking peasant here.
do you?
Oh yeah, I do
that?
I think that. I know it's not true. I know the person's probably a very great, genuine person, but there's some little part of me.
We're backpedaling here. Okay.
I'm not backpedaling. I'm just telling you. About 0.01% of my brain that goes, oh Jesus Christ, this person's poor.
You know what? Apple does that though. Apple does it on purpose. Mm-hmm. Why else would they make the text green of somebody who doesn't have an iPhone to blatantly show you that they don't have an iPhone?
Yeah, you're categorized in a class of people.
I always wondered
when you got the blue text.
I always wondered why they did that.
Also, the blue text. This has to be something that Apple does. The blue text when you have a blue text and you're texting me, your text goes through Wi-Fi. I don't need to use data or anything like that. I can just text you pictures and stuff through Wi-Fi. Through Android, it's always going to use data.
Right.
It's not going to go through my Wi-Fi. So it's like when I'm texting you, I feel bettered because I'm not using up my freaking data.
Actually, you don't use data for text messaging?
It goes through Wi-Fi, though, is what I'm trying to say. Like the blue text uses Wi-Fi.
Well, right.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
But a text
probably very poorly trying to say it,
but a text message itself, we don't really use data anymore.
No. But yeah. Like if what I'm saying, Nick, is if I don't have service, but I have Wi-Fi, I can still text you, but I can't text an Android user. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yes. Okay. No, that makes sense. Yeah, they're very coy with their marketing tactics.
Yeah.
I always wondered.
It's pretty good. So, take a break?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we're back from our lovely short break here to wrap things up by talking about the measles.
Ay.
Adios, measles! Brett, you're so stupid.
I'm going to pass out.
But no, seriously, this measles outbreak is getting really bad. I still can't believe, for one, we're dealing with this. You're still laughing at your joke, aren't you?
Adios, measles. Okay, I'm good.
You make yourself laugh.
I know, too bad.
A lot. Anyhow, no, I'm still shocked as to how bad this measles outbreak is getting, strictly because people chose not to vaccinate their children. At the end of the day, that's why this is a problem.
Hey, it's been 2 decades since measles was declared eliminated in the United States. And 2 decades later, we have dumbass soccer moms bringing it back. Thanks, Sharon.
Here's the deal. It wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't that measles is literally one of the most contagious diseases in existence.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why it was the one to pop up first.
And it kills people.
Next is polio.
And it kills people.
Yeah.
But what's more interesting, the reason why I'm bringing this back up is because there's people who've been vaccinated who apparently are getting it.
The dumbest argument I hear from them is it doesn't exist anymore, so why get a vaccine for it? It still exists within the world. You get a person that's vaccinated that went to freaking Africa, is carrying it on their person, and then they come into contact with your child who's not vaccinated, and suddenly they have it, and they're spreading it to other kids that are not vaccinated. It's usually on the West Coast, northern West Coast. So,
well, apparently, there was a rabbi in Detroit who became ill after claiming to be fully vaccinated, which is scary.
It's because it's mutating.
No.
Yeah.
Well, they were saying
that. I read this. After a certain age, the vaccines die off, but you don't have to really worry about it because everybody's vaccinated.
Well, apparently, when it comes to the MMR vaccine, which is the measles, mumps, rubella one, which you're supposed to get 12 months after birth, if you're a person who behaves appropriately. Apparently there's like 2 different shots that you need for it, and if you get both shots, it's 97% effective, and if you just get one, it's 92%. But still, Why would he get it if he was vaccinated?
I hope it's not a mutation thing.
I would hope not.
I hope it's not mutating past our vaccines because...
Well, the epicenter of all this crap is in Washington State, is where a majority of the issue is now.
Yep.
I mean, I guess I'm concerned.
It spreads over the border of Canada.
I'm concerned for me right now because I'm trying to remember. So when I had leukemia, the chemo wiped out all my vaccinations, right? So I had to...
You gotta get double vaccines.
Well, I had to get revaccinated, but I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure they... That's what I've been thinking.
That's so creepy.
I was going to try and dig through my medical records and be like, I'm pretty sure I got revaccinated for measles.
What is measles? It's just a form of like hardcore form of chickenpox, right?
It's not. No, it's not even
like
the same category. But I actually don't even really know what it does. Maybe you can look that up quick while I'm rambling. But yeah, my major concern has been, was I exposed to? Not exposed. Am I immune to measles because of the whole chemotherapy thing? I re-got the vaccine. I just can't believe this is a problem. This is a disease that shouldn't even be a thing anymore, along with a handful of other diseases, but because people are being stupid.
People are very stupid when it comes to this shit. So here are the symptoms. Measles signs and symptoms appear around 10 to 14 days after exposure to the virus. Signs and symptoms of measles typically include a fever, dry cough, runny nose, sore throat, inflamed eyes, conjunctivitis. There is tiny white spots with bluish white centers on a red background found inside the mouth on the inner lining of the cheek, also called Koplik's spots, or Koplik, wherever you say that. A skin rash made up of a large flat blotches that often flow into one another. It can be infectious and incubation. So for the first 10 to 14 days you have the disease or infection, the measles virus incubates. You have no signs or symptoms of the measles, which is why it spreads so quickly because people don't know they have it, and they go out into public. Non-specific signs and symptoms. Measles typically begin with a mild to moderate fever, often accompanied by a persistent cough, runny nose, inflamed eyes, and sore throat. There's also rashes, which is most people scratch those rashes, and that can lead to more spreading.
We shouldn't be dealing with this.
Yeah. When to see a doctor?
This shouldn't be a thing.
Risk factors: being unvaccinated.
Really?
Traveling internationally, and then having a vitamin A deficiency.
See, we're going out to that whole international vaccination thing.
Oh my God.
The lucky thing about going to Australia, Brett, in August is we don't really need to be vaccinated for anything. Probably except measles, because it's everywhere now.
What is this? There's no link to that. You can get pneumonia, bronchitis, ear infections, pregnancy problems.
No, it can kill you.
Encephalitis.
Encephalitis is the inflammation.
Oh, is that what that is?
Inflammation of your brain.
That's spelled really weird. I didn't know that word was spelled like that.
Yes. Actually, there was somebody who recently died because they got encephalitis from the measles.
Okay. Well, it's been 2 decades since we had to deal with this, so might as well read up now and get ready for the mutated. Who knows what you know what the scary thing is like if it did mutate and get past this old man's vaccines, who's to say what the new mutation has, like the symptoms?
It's not mutating, Brett.
I'm just saying.
And we can't make that claim.
I'm not making a claim. I'm just saying if it did mutate, what are the new symptoms it may bring?
I don't know.
What are the new side effects it may bring? You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're heading into summer now, typically when viruses have a really hard time infecting people in the summer. So
oh my God.
What?
About 90%. If you come into contact, you have a 90% chance of getting measles.
Yes, it's that contagious.
Yeah.
That's why it's bad. And that's why we developed a vaccine for it to keep it from spreading. What?
It could last measles, like if somebody scratches their rash and the skin flakes land on like the toilet seat or something like that, it can last for like up to a day.
Yes.
And if you sit down, it'll go up your ass crack and infect you. It's scary. Scary stuff we're living with here in the U.S. these days.
I swear to God, Brett. Well, I just really hope this is a wake-up call for all these people who aren't vaccinating their kids.
Oh, well, did you see when the measles outbreak was established in the state of Washington, the vaccination rate went up 800%?
As it should have.
Because all these soccer moms are like, oh, shit, we were wrong.
I really, really would love to go back in time and maybe not say the kindest things to that doctor who published that false medical report on
Whatever.
vaccines causing autism.
The thing was, it was one report, and it wasn't even right.
Well, and part of the problem, too, I think, as we've talked on here, is that social media has only made it worse because these people who already think that it causes issues find groups of other people who think the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they trap themselves in a bubble of other people who think false information and are sharing false information, and they can't escape.
Ooh, there was an even larger surge in measles outbreaks in 2014, higher than this year.
I saw that. I don't remember that, though.
No, probably because people didn't really talk about it yet. Now it's becoming a big issue because
People are also paying attention to the anti-vaxxer crap now, too.
Yeah, exactly. That wasn't really a big thing back in 2014, but it went from, this is insane. It was 63% in 2010. Wait, what is this going by? Oh, 63 cases, not percent. 220 cases in 2011, 55, 187 in 2013, and then 667 in 2014. Goes back down to 188 in 2015, 86, 120, 372, and then now 555 in 2019. That's actually quite a lot for we've only been in here for 4 months in this year. That's actually quite a lot. This is actually kind of very concerning.
Dumbass anti-vaxxers.
Because this is going to be the world record now.
Yes.
Measles outbreaks in the past 2 decades. We are already almost going to beat 2014 4 months into this frickin' year.
Between you and me, I am truly waiting for smallpox to come back.
Something will come back. I don't know. All we're seeing, like I said, is measles because that's the most contagious one. But oh my god! It's like a chickenpox rash on your skin.
Yeah, it looks disgusting.
Ugh.
Did you know that there's only 3 places on the planet that smallpox still exists?
Do you know the countries off your top of your head? Or?
Yes, at the CDC in Atlanta. I think Russia has some samples. I can't remember what the third one was.
People don't have them; they just have samples.
Well, right, in cold storage.
This poor little baby. Oh, the baby's face is all white and red.
Jesus,
because she was
Brett.
unvaccinated.
All right, well, we're gonna end that one right here before Brett starts crying into the microphone.
And then right below this article, they have a dog licking ice cream off a spoon. Oh, how nice it is to see something to distract me from what's actually going on in the world. Thank you, U.S. government.
Well, Brett, unless you had anything else, that's about all I had to talk about this week.
Don't worry, Nick. This will make you feel better. A couple adopted 7 siblings.
Great. Not unlike that family of little people we saw on that show last weekend. Nick, that was random. Why the hell did I even say that?
I don't know.
Oh, I know why. Because we're intoxicated now. Great. Anyhow, that's about all I have, Brett. Did you have anything else you'd like to share?
No, I'm actually pretty good to go. I've got everything out of my head that I wanted to say about all the topics we have to talk about.
Well, listeners, we have a treat for you. Mark your calendar for well, I guess not May 4th because we're not publishing it, but the first weekend in May is our next Drunk Cast, and it just so happens that when Brett and I are recording, it will be on, wait for it, May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day.
Yep, and we're both Star Wars fans of the first 6 movies.
So if you don't think that we are going to be throwing down some Star Wars fun...
I feel like it's going to turn into a lot of Last Jedi shaming.
On our May Drunk Cast, you are wrong. Absolutely. And also, Brett and I are excited because a week from today, we will be literally actually at the movie theater waiting to see Avengers Endgame.
God, I'm so excited.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh my God. I'm going to empty all my bowels and my bladder before I see that movie.
Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. Just don't have to get up.
And we promise we actually no, because we'll probably be recording before we go see Avengers, so there'll not even be a temptation for spoilers.
I'm not seeing it. I'm not watching anything related to Avengers. The only thing I'm watching Avengers related is the Avenger movies.
I told Brett, I go, Friday night we're going to have to just literally not go on the internet because there will be some a-hole who's going to be posting crap and
just
spoil the whole thing.
Don't go on Facebook. Don't go on Twitter. Don't go on Instagram. Nothing.
Which will be distracted by Days Gone, so we shouldn't have to worry about it.
Yes.
Anywho, well, as always, thank you for joining us this week's episode. Remember, you can follow us on social media at _Shotcast for Instagram and the Shotcast WI for Wisconsin on Facebook. And you can listen to all of our episodes, present and past, on theshotcast.com, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher.
Cool.
Well, until next week. Bye-bye.
See you later, guys.